Good afternoon. It is February the 17th, 2021, and we have started on the van conversion project here on the GMC Savana 2004. We did have a full plastic liner in it, which was very nice actually, but we decided we needed to take it out because we're going to insulate. So as you can see behind me, the van is pretty much bare. Looking at it from the back towards the driver's seat, we've taken out the driver's seat because we wanted to get to the wiring, which is right over here. There's the fuses right there. I'm gonna run a wire up along this top track up here for our backup camera. There's a backup camera right up there. Completely replaces the center tail light. Here's Michael, who's doing a great job assisting on this. In fact, he's doing most of the work. And we're here pulling it out, and it's very clean inside. This van, obviously, for a 17-year-old van, obviously had the liner in it the whole time and didn't suffer any heavy automotive greasy hauling duties. So we're going to just insulate it and panel it and make it look real pretty inside. All right, it's February the 22nd, 2021, and I've been working on putting a template together for the floor for the van here, and it's coming along pretty good. I recommend that you have something to pad your knees if you're going to work on a template, because those ribs are hard on your knees. I made this template from a kit that's used actually to make templates for installing linoleum floors. I should probably say vinyl floors. And it's just basically some heavy-duty paper. I figured it was a little easier to cut this template from paper first. I don't know if I'll transfer it to a cardboard template to make sure it fits or not, but this seems like it's going to be pretty good fit. I decided to keep these plastic borders in and out because I kind of like them, and what else am I going to do with them? So this is what it's coming to look like. I'll carefully roll this up and be able to put it on the piece of plywood and cut it shape. I have installed 1x2 runners spaced appropriately along the nice cleaned out floor, and I've got my template all ready, and I'm gonna basically cut this most efficiently for the plywood, where I can use one piece almost 4 feet across here, and then another piece is only going to be about 2 feet, and hopefully what's left over will work right here. So it's a windy day, which makes working with the template a little more challenging, but we'll anchor it down with some bricks and make it work. My floor is going to be made out of 15/32 plywood, and it's nicely sanded on one side, and I'm going to actually screw it to the runners, which are glued into the floor with Gorilla Glue. So I've got my runners in. I guess they're actually floor joists at this point in time, and it's 1/2-inch foam board. It's not poly-iso or XPS or whatever that rigid stuff is. It does dent fairly easily, but it was all I could find at the local home stores, and I guess some of the other stuff is just EPS, whatever. Doesn't seem to exist in California, so this is 1/2-inch, and maybe it'll help a little bit. Well, here's the new wood floor for the van, all screwed into place. I think it overall turned out pretty good. Lots of little pieces to cut and fit around while you're doing this sort of project, and it's difficult, but after moving things around quite a bit, we have basically a pretty good flat wood floor, 1/2-inch thick, with 1/2-inch foam board insulation underneath it, and it's solidly screwed into place. Ready for the next step. Thought I'd add this little tidbit to our van conversion project. What GMC or Chevy Express van have you seen that has this same problem? Paint peeling. It's just typical. Anyway, this was peeling pretty bad, so I thought I'd take a little sander to it and gonna do some primer and painting on it and just dress it up a little bit. We're putting in the roof vent, and the MaXXAir Deluxe is going to go in here. We've got a 14-inch hole masked off with our center hole right here, so we know exactly where it's going to go. And we're drilling our pilot holes in the corners so we can start cutting away. Here we go. We are installing the vent fan, and you gotta love that GM paint coming back to haunt us again. Drill a hole, pull off the blue tape, and the paint comes off. Well, we're gonna primer it up and it'll be fine. All right, we've got a little Rust-Oleum Ultra High Gloss Paint Plus Primer. I think it's doing a pretty good job. We'll let that dry, and then we'll mount the flange and proceed onward, just like nothing ever happened. And the MaXXAir Deluxe is installed. Cutting the 14-inch hole was actually probably the easiest part. I've got the lap sealant installed all around it. It's still a little gooey, but I'm sure it will cure. Hopefully it'll cure before it's supposed to rain tonight. Here it is on the interior with the bug screen on it. I was thoughtful in that I drew a scribe line for my ceiling liner before I put the fan in, so I'll be able to cut it precisely. Took longer than anticipated, as most of these things do, but after some struggles and some choice words, shall we say, it's on there, and looks like it fits pretty good. Time for one more little video before I start putting the interior back in. I have fully insulated the insides of this. Put the old ceiling back in, painted it, cut the hole for the fan, put some little puck lights in, and have fully insulated it with 1-inch poly iso, and also stuffed some water heater blanket in the gaps up here. I think that's probably going to be good enough for my Southern California climate. So that's where we are, and I'm working on putting a new floor in, a new vinyl floor. Just had some sheet vinyl left over that I think will look fine in here, so that's next. I went ahead and put the floor in here. It's not glued in yet, but it's laid in place and cut to fit, so all I need to do is get some glue and stick it down to the subfloor. I didn't have quite enough left over from a previous bathroom remodel project, so I had to piece a few things together, but it'll be fine once it's glued down. I'm finally making some progress getting this thing put back together in here. I've got the plastic liner put back in. We had to cut off the bottom of it to get it to fit because it raised up because of the floor in here. I can decide what to do about that door over there. That needs a little work, doesn't it? Finally about time to start building some cabinets. Quick video update today, the 28th of April, and we've been working on the cabinets. Another view from the front. The refrigerator is going to be lower right. I may just leave that space open so you can open the refrigerator without having to pull it out. And we'll add some more shelves there on the lower left, so we'll be able to stack 3 totes high. And we'll have some open space up there. This cabinet is installed, assembled on site, and it's looking good, very solid. This is not going anywhere, except where the van goes. And I've got my shelves all in, and there's probably going to be an opening door up top here. Another update on the van project. Here's the cabinet that I've been working on so diligently for the last, couple of weeks now probably, and it's finally pretty much put together the way I want to have it. I've got the lights in, I've got the refrigerator in, the power supply's in, looking pretty good, and very happy with the way it's turned out for an amateur cabinet van builder. So for the last week or so, I've been working diligently on this pull-out bed project here, and I think it's come along pretty well. The slats are from IKEA. They make a bunch of slats for different size beds. These are for the full and queen size bed, and they fit pretty well for my single/double dimension bed frame. Here it is in pulled out mode, and I looked at lumber for these 1x2s, and the slats basically cost as much as the lumber. They're made out of plywood, and they offer a little bit of spring as well. So this is an almost full size when it's pulled out. It's a little bit less wide than a full size, but it should be relatively comfortable for 2 for short term. So that's the status of the van build for now. As you can see from the still pictures, I added a folding counter that includes a sink, small freshwater and gray water supplies, and a USB pump, which is perfectly adequate for pumping enough water for your coffee or tea in the morning. Oh, and what van build would be complete without some strip lights? So there we go. We have to have those in there for a little bit of atmosphere at night. And it's been an enjoyable venture to do this build, and hope you enjoyed the video.